1 o'clock, which means it is time for a YouTube video. So give me 1 second. Let me be sure that we're transmitting over here off stage left. We've got a pretty icky kind of day. Actually, I like these kinds of days in Georgia. It's kind of a typical fall day, really. It's rainy, but not very hard, so kind of drizzly and cool, and the wind is blowing and overcast, and it's very nice. So, all right, so here's our card today. Now, full disclosure, when I got up this morning, I had a completely different card planned, and that different card remained on the plan until, about 10:15. And then I was like, I'm going to hold that card and do it a little later. I have a different card I want to make, although I didn't actually, know what that card was going to be, but this is what it turned out to be. So if you know me at all, you probably are aware of the fact that, hey, Bree, making cards fast is not really my thing. I'm not a fast, put it all together and it's done. I tend to think of an idea and then I rethink the idea and then I change the idea and then I come up with a different idea. So this was not easy for me to do. Hey, Faith, appreciate you joining. Hi, Angie. Hi, Linda. Everybody's joining up now. They must have just gotten the notification from YouTube. So anywho, this is basically, it's mostly from the Time of Giving bundle, which also has the Fun Giving Gifts stamp die set with it. Hey, Laura. Hi, Honeybee from Central Florida. Hi, Danette. I have used this one several times, the leaves mostly, and that really cute, very cute bow, but I haven't done a whole lot with the tags, and so I thought I would do that. And I discovered that this tag die cut right here fits perfectly in the TaylorMade Tags tag, and so I was able to create the fun little tag that we're going to use today. And so I'm going to show you that here in just a second. But first I'm going to put this back. Okay. So, hey, Broke Duty. All right. All of this will be on my blog tomorrow, including a PDF with full instructions. So you will not need to write anything down, I promise. This is the inside. I did steal a sentiment from the Pretty Pumpkins die set, or stamp set, sorry, because I really liked it. But everything else is really pretty much from Time of Giving. So let's get started. I've got some In Good Taste DSP, one of my favorite things ever. And I'm going to adhere it to some Cajun Grays cardstock to make our card front. If I can make my seal work. Come on, baby. Come to mama. There we go. There it comes. All right. Well, yesterday we had an interloper at our place, and he stayed all day long, kind of in and out, more out than in. And when we first saw him, it was a boxer. Wayne called me to tell me, as he'd gone to the barn in the morning, he called to tell me that there was a pit bull running around the house. And I looked out, and he was actually right behind the house. And it was so not a pit bull. It was so a boxer. Very cute little boxer with his dock tail and his floppy ears. He didn't have cropped ears, which I thought was cool. And not little at all. A beautiful dog. And I was like, oh dear. So I stepped out, and as soon as I stepped out of the house, he took off. So we thought, well, okay, maybe he went home. That was what we were hoping, is that he had gone home. All right, I have another little piece of the same In Good Taste, and I'm going to adhere it as well. I'm going to go with liquid glue just because it makes me happier when things are littler. I don't know why. It's just a thing. So we spent most of the day with Wayne trying to tell him to go home because he would leave and then he'd come back, and he'd leave and he'd come back. Well, around 3, I said, I'm starting to worry that he either is lost, drastically lost, and can't figure out how to get home, or some name person that I'm not going to say on YouTube video dumped him somewhere. He didn't have a collar. Beautiful dog, really healthy looking. So I was not really buying the whole dump thing, but it could happen. I guess it's that time of year. I don't know. So we decided it was time to get him. Well, of course, by that time he had decided he wasn't coming back. So I had a bowl of food and a few of the yogurt treats from Karen K that I was going to share it with him. Hey, Sarah from France. Appreciate you joining. Hi, Sylvia. Hi, Diane. Hey, Amy. But he never returned, and so we left the food out on the golf cart overnight, and he didn't eat it, and neither did anything else. So, and we haven't seen him this morning. So I'm hoping that he remembered where he lived, because Finn, in case you didn't know it, is not interested in sharing. He's just not. Okay, so I've got my card front made, and I did a little die cutting. I'll stop yakking about the dog, and we'll talk about the card. So I did a little die cutting. Now, this is that tag that I just showed you. It's this one that cuts out the pumpkin, and it cuts out and leaves the die cut in your cardstock. Okay, so it's going to make a negative. Well, if you put this die inside this tailor-made tag and run it through, your result is this. Okay, and as it turns out, each of these in the giving gifts set will fit in one of the tailor-made tags. This one might actually fit in this one as well. So you just have to kind of figure it out. That one would fit in there. All right. So it's kind of a handy little pairing because you can make really cute gift tags, really cute tags for, I mean, sometimes it's fun to put a tag on a card front. Oh, wait, that's what I just did. So remember that tailor-made tags and giving gifts are a very, very nice little pair. Okay, so then I took the really wondermost leaves die cut from the giving gift set, and I cut out a bunch of leaves from the gold paper in the gold and rose gold metallic specialty paper. Okay, and then we had a ditastrophe because I wanted to make these little pumpkins right here. My problem was what happened is, so I was like looking at this die set and I couldn't see the pumpkin, and I panicked, like big time panicked, because I was certain that this pumpkin die was in this giving gifts die set. So I turned on the big overhead light, I dumped out my trash barrel, I cleared everything off of the desk, I looked everywhere I had ever put a die, I looked in all the other envelopes, and then fortunately this set was sitting somewhere that I finally saw it with the little pumpkin. Turns out this little pumpkin is in seasonal swirls, not in giving gifts. So I was able to unpanic and take a deep breath because I was certain I had lost one of my favorite little dies of all time. So I actually, once I found it, I cut 2 from Cinnamon Cider and 1 from Cajun Craze. And then I just started kind of building my card front. And you might recognize this is actually from a sketch challenge. Maybe you recognize it, some of you, like Amy. And that was kind of how I started working it, was to go with that sketch challenge. Sketch challenges are wonderful ways to get ideas, you guys. So when you're sitting there looking at your blank desk and you have all of the options out there, find a sketch challenge and let it help you figure out some ideas. And that is exactly what I do a lot. I'm not even lying. I do it a lot because it's a really good way to get some ideas. So this is from Sunday Stamps, and it's kind of an interesting one. And so this is kind of what I'm doing, is I'm just building this up, and then I'm going to add a sentiment. This is from the Time of Giving set, and I stamped it on this exact same DSP, this one right here, in early espresso, and then I cut it with the smallest narrow die in the stitched rectangles, and it's perfect. So let's go ahead and start putting it on with some liquid glue. All right, so all of the leaves are adhered with liquid glue, and then I'm going to pop my pumpkins. Yeah, exactly. They are the real way to do it. And yes, Faith, little dies are so easy to lose, and I was really certain that I had done lost it, and I was not a happy camper. Not even a little bit of a happy camper was I. No, I was going to be really sad. Okay, so now I'm actually going to go ahead and put this on right now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the liquid glue away from the edge so that I can actually tuck some die cuts underneath there. And I'm not putting anything on the detailed part either. It really doesn't need it, and so I'm not doing it. And the only tip I have here is, well, it would be nice if it's straight. And just because it's a thing for me, I don't want to be able to see that mat or right there. So I would not like it like that. That would bother me. If it doesn't bother you, put it however you like. But I would recommend straight. Just me. That's just me. There we go. Okay. Now, with these edges loose, I can still tuck some leaves. So I'm going to do that. First, I'm going to put a leaf on here. Now, so here's the thing. I was just about to say, obviously, this did not go so fast when I was putting it together, but because I didn't even think of it until, you know, like an hour and a half before I needed to have a card done, it took a little less time to put it together than I would normally do. Okay, so I'm going to put those two like that, and then I'm going to put a couple on my actual die cut, like this. And then let's see, let's put this nice big one right there. I love this gold and rose gold paper. I really, really love it. It's one of my very favorite things ever. So I'm hoping it's a thing that sticks around. So I'm going to take this maple leaf and slide it under the frame right there, just like that. And just kind of push it over until it gets where you want it to go, like that. Okay, and then we're going to put one more little leaf down at the bottom, like this. Okay, now my die cut sentiment is going to go on with Stampin' Dimensionals, because you got to have them. It's a requirement. And while I have them out, I will flip my little pumpkins and put a dimensional on the back. Hey, Debbie, appreciate you joining. Yeah, daylight savings. I am not ready for us to go back to standard. I'm just not. I hate it so much. But it will be soon time to go back. I just keep hoping that somebody somewhere will really decide there's no point in going back and forth anymore. There just isn't. Come on, people. Just come on with your bad self. Okay, so I'm going to put this sentiment right here, and I'm kind of splitting the difference. I don't want to cover up my pretty pumpkins, but I don't want to be down below there. So I'm kind of splitting the difference on the frame of the die cut, and I'm letting it spill out over to the edge like so. And then see why it's nice to use liquid glue. Oops. See why it can be a pain to use liquid glue, because then you pick up your leaf when you didn't mean to. But if you did mean to, and you decided you wanted it out a little bit further, liquid glue gives you a little time to change your mind. All right, there we go. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and put on my pumpkins. I thought they were too. They've talked about it forever and a day. Look, I need another leaf right there. I think I need another leaf. I need another leaf. I'm going to do another leaf up here at the top. Why? Because that's what I did on my sample. And I must have liked it, because, okay. Now, I'll put this one right here, like that. And then I'm going to put the Cajun Craze one in the middle. And they are going to be at a little jaunty angle, like that. And then this guy will go down here, like this. There. And because I still have a little wiggle room, I'm going to put him where I really wanted him. There we go, like that. Okay, now we're going to make us a double loop. Yeah, I know, Sarah. Yeah, it'll be dark before I even think about wanting to feed horses, and that just depresses me no end. Okay, so we're going to make a double loop bow. So if you've never watched how this happens, I'm going to show you how this happens. It works the best with linen thread, but you can actually do it with baker's twine. And sometimes you can do it with the twines, depending on how stiff they are. But the linen thread is truly the best. So you're going to hold the tail between your thumb and your forefinger, and you're going to wrap 4 times around 4 fingers. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you can vary the size of your bow by how close or how far apart you put your fingers. So this is kind of an average one for me. Then you're going to take and do 2 fingers, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now here's another thing that you can do. If you want less twine, do 2 loops around 4 fingers and 2 loops around 2 fingers. So it'll be a little less Farrah Fawcett-y and a little more Kate Jackson maybe. Okay. And then we're going to cut that little tail. And I'm going to, so you see you've now got a loop in a loop. I'm going to bring the 2 edges together, the 2 sides like that, and then do a twist to create a figure 8. Then I'm going to use my tweezers. I'm having a little coughing fit, sorry. And then I'm going to tie another little bit of linen thread around the juncture. Try not to get your tweezers in your knot. Okay, getting a drink, hang on. Sorry about that. Not sure what the deal is. Okay, now you can let him go and pull your little ends down so they're in bow position, and then just kind of mess with the bow until it is suitably, perfectly tousled, like Farrah's hair. Okay. And then we're just going to use a glue dot and adhere this to the card front. And that's so easy. We're going to put it right there like that, right there. We're going to flop it on like so. Okay. And then I've got some pumpkin pie. Not very many. I'm getting low on the pumpkin pies. I'm going to do some pumpkin pie gems from the holiday rhinestones. And I'm going to put more on than you might think because I can. I'm going to put one on the sentiment. And then I'm going to put some over here. Like that. There we go. And then I'm going to put a big one and a small one down here. Like that. And I feel that's a suitable amount of bling for this card. I like the bling of the gold and the bling of the rhinestones with the rustic wood, don't you? I think it looks really cool. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Thanks, Jean. Linen thread, my favorite thing. Toilet paper, coffee, linen thread, dimensionals. Never run out of those. These are the staff of life. Okay, so now for the inside, I'm going to use a piece of very vanilla, and I'm first going to stamp that sentiment. Remember I told you I pulled a sentiment from the Pretty Pumpkin set because I really like this one. If friends were pumpkins, I'd pick you, and it seems really appropriate for this card. Never forget, always remember, when you're first using one of the red stamps, so a cling stamp is what they're called now. If you're first using one of those, I recommend that you test it on your grid paper because however straight it is what? Say it with me, everyone. Depending on how good a job they did carving it in there and how good a job you did putting your sticker on. So I've already tested this, and we both Stampin' Up! And I did a pretty good job with our piece of it. So I'm just going to stamp it right in the middle, hold it for a beat. Do not rock the card, the stamp. Don't rock the stamp, baby. Rock the stamp. Don't rock the stamp, baby. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to take this very cute little wreath sheaf from Time of Giving, and I'm going to stamp it over the top of that sentiment in Stamped Off Once. maybe twice. No, I don't like that. Well, yeah, that might work. We'll do that one. Once, twice, thrice. There we go. And then, because I've got them still, although apparently I need to buy another pack of holiday rhinestones, I'm going to put one pumpkin pie rhinestone right there. And then we'll put him on his Cajun Craze mat. Thank you, Sandy. I appreciate that very much. Hey, Jeanne. Thank you for joining me from Oregon. I appreciate y'all coming. I enjoy doing these videos and I enjoy chatting with you. Oh no, well, I'll get that with my eraser here real quick. Do you see what I did? I was a little hurried with that early espresso, and early espresso being a dark ink takes a half a beat, and I only gave it a quarter beat, maybe even a 16th of a beat. So let's see if I can get it off with my sand eraser. Oh yes, it was a very small smudge. Am I giving y'all an earthquake there? Okay. Y'all, if you don't have a sand eraser to erase ink with, just get one. At the same time you get your EK Tools reverse tweezers, get one of those erasers, okay? Now I'm going to put this inside of a cinnamon cider card base. And then we'll pop our card front on and get our envelope going. See, I was going to be all efficient and stuff and stamp that wheat on here, but I got all excited. I don't know why. Oh, because I had a smudge. See, bunny. Saw a bunny. That's all it takes is a bunny, and I would forget my behind if it was not attached to me. Okay, now let's see. I'm going to have to pull out. Where's my card front? Oh, duh. It's right in front of me. Y'all, do not judge me for my disorganization. Don't judge me. I can't help it. Okay, get some more dimensionals out here. And we're going to put our classic 9 dimensionals. Actually, only 4.5. Because they're half dimensionals. See, it's math. It's science. Okay. And we'll pull these off and get it stuck on, and then we'll make us an envelope and be ready to rock and roll. Yes, yes, the erasers come from Amazon. The reverse tweezers come from Amazon. Much as I hate to say it, a lot of good stuff comes from Amazon. Not gonna lie. Okay, and we'll just be sure that this is on right side up. Oh yes, cinnamon cider and Cajun Craze with wood. Hello. Perfect, right? Yes. Okay. Now, on my very vanilla card or envelope, this is an envelope. You know how I can tell? Because it has a flap and stuff. Yeah. So, my goodness. Alrighty, I'm going to stamp my Time of Giving wheat in full strength cinnamon cider right here in the corner. And then we'll put a little bit of the wood DSP on the envelope flap. Alrighty. Hey, so have you guys found the page on my blog that has the tutorials, all the PDFs, the tutorial PDFs? The PDF de tutorial. They're called free tutorials at the top of my blog page. And it has all of the tutorials from the cards that I have done since I started doing PDF tutorials. And if you want the one that's called Pumpkinheads Tutorials, all you got to do is place a $50 order and you will get that tutorial each month. And if you want all of the Pumpkinhead tutorials, you can join one of my host clubs. Got one coming up in December. All right, so there we go. Boom, chakalaka. Just so you know, the next time you're looking for your little pumpkin, it's in the seasonal swirls dies. Just saying. Okay. I hope you all have enjoyed this card, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. Hopefully, I'll see you on Saturday for our Facebook Live at 7 o'clock on my Stamps-N-Lingers Facebook page. And I will see you then. I don't know why I said and again. That was just weird. All right, guys. We'll see you.